Cyera is expanding beyond data security capabilities with its upcoming billion-dollar acquisition of non-human identity and access governance vendor, Oasis Security. The companies want to build a unified security platform for the era of AI agents. And here to break it down for me is CRN Senior Editor Kyle Alspach. Kyle, thanks for joining CRN In Depth.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Kyle, tell me, what makes this such a significant deal in the cybersecurity world? There's deals all the time, right?
There are, yeah. Acquisitions are always happening. This one's a little different for at least a couple reasons. Just the fact of one startup that's venture-backed acquiring another one for, $1 billion price tag is a pretty big deal right off the top. That just tells you how hot security is right now, and especially anything that has to do with AI. So, that's definitely one of the big things here. But another one is just that it brings together so many of the different themes that are really important in security right now, being AI, data security, and identity security. Bringing all three of those together is just a huge combination, I think. And that's clearly what Cyera is seeing here. A platform that can hit on all three of those is going to be very widely appealing right now when it comes to partners and customers.
And Kyle, I keep hearing from partners about not only do AI agents present an opportunity, but identity around them and securing them is such a huge opportunity for the channel right now. Tell me why I'm hearing this so much from channel partners.
So the big issue really is that if you're trying to use AI agents without thinking about identity and access control and things like that, you're really going to be in for trouble, because that's just an enormous security risk to be allowing an autonomous or semi-autonomous agent to be connecting to different systems, connecting to your organization's data or whatever it might be. You don't want to be giving access to something that you're not really sure whether it should have that access or not. So these are areas that just really, it's very important for companies to be locking this down. And, the whole idea here, Cyera is realizing that and realizing, they had been doing data security and AI security, but that you really need that identity piece, especially if you want to enable agentic. And really, that's the whole point of having agents, is for them to be able to have access to things and take actions upon, on your behalf. That's the whole value there. So you really need to get identity security right and figure out, the proper privileges for them to have if you want to actually be able to succeed with doing agents in the first place.
And I'm sure, the gifts and the downfall of automation, right? If you haven't set these things up for success at the jump, it just snowballs like crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tell me, Kyle, so this deal, what do you think it means for solution providers and services providers? What are you watching for next?
I just think it's, potentially another, emerging vendor for a lot of solution providers. If they're not already working with Cyera or Oasis Security, they've had some traction with the channel already. But I definitely think there's probably quite a lot of companies out there that aren't working with them yet. So just the fact that Cyera is, the deal hasn't closed yet, but assuming it closes, it'll be a much broader platform and probably applicable to, a whole lot more partners out there. But partners are also always looking to differentiate and offer their customers maybe something different that they don't have yet, or offer their customers, one of these more emerging approaches to things, emerging vendors that, are really more on the cutting edge maybe than some of the players out there. Cyera is really an up and coming company already, even prior to this acquisition. And so, for companies that are out there, wondering, what's going to be the next Wiz or someone like that is a really, major winning startup in the security space. It seems like Cyera is definitely seems to be making moves there that a lot of partners, I think, would benefit from, getting to know them, if not partnering with them.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of great detail from CRN's own security whiz. How about that? I'll give you that nickname.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Kyle, thank you for joining me on this episode of CRN In Depth. For more of CRN's coverage around identity and governance in the AI era, visit crn.com.